Have you ever wondered if you've been neglecting small habits that are quietly aging you? You might not even realize it, but these seemingly insignificant actions can significantly influence how others perceive you, and, perhaps more importantly, how you feel about yourself. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into 6 everyday habits that might be subtly making you look older, less approachable, or even more withdrawn than you are. These are the habits that people notice but often don't bring up. And believe me, these seemingly minor changes can have a big impact on your confidence, how you're received by the world, and ultimately how you interact with others. Let's take a closer look at how simple shifts, like grooming, adjusting the way you communicate, or even how you carry yourself, can transform your energy and presence. From speaking too loudly or interrupting conversations to neglecting the state of your clothing and posture, these habits don't just affect your outward appearance. They affect your relationships, your self-esteem, and the way others connect with you on a deeper level. This video is packed with tips you won't want to miss. By the time you finish watching, you'll understand how small, manageable adjustments can make a profound difference in helping you feel more vibrant, engaged, and confident in your skin. These actionable solutions can be implemented right away, and trust me, the results will speak for themselves. Stick around until the end of the video, and together, we'll make those changes that will significantly boost your energy, enhance your self-assurance, and elevate how you show up in the world. If you haven't already, I highly recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos I post. Your support means the world to me, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and sharing it to help spread these valuable lessons to others. If the topic of today's video resonates with you, go ahead and comment 1 below. If there's anything you'd like to see improved, feel free to comment 0. I always love hearing from you so I can continue improving and making better videos. Now, let's get started. 1. Neglecting personal care. As we age, the subtle changes in how we present ourselves can be alarming. One of the most significant, yet often overlooked, indicators of aging is neglecting personal hygiene and grooming. It's heartbreaking when you see someone you love, someone who was once known for their neatness and attention to detail, begin to let these little things slip away. Things like trimming nails, brushing your hair regularly, and making sure your clothes are fresh may seem minor, but these small acts of self-care have a tremendous impact on how we feel and how others perceive us. The truth is that neglecting even these tiny aspects of grooming can accumulate over time and make us look older, more fatigued, or even unapproachable. And what makes it even more tragic is that it often goes unnoticed by the person until the damage is already done. Take Tom, for example, a gentleman in his 80s who had always been a picture of grace and tidiness. He was the man everyone admired for his sharp appearance. Over the years, though, Tom, like many of us, began to let those little grooming habits slip through the cracks. His eyebrows grew unruly, his hair became disheveled, and his once pristine wardrobe was replaced by the same old shirt worn day after day. People around him noticed the change, but no one had the heart to bring it up. His children, his neighbors, and his friends all saw it, but they didn't want to hurt his feelings or embarrass him. It wasn't until one day, when Tom caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror, that he was struck by the reality of how much he had let go. The man he used to be, the man who always took pride in his appearance, had slowly faded away. But that moment of self-reflection became a catalyst for change. He decided to take action, reclaiming his dignity and pride. With determination, Tom cut his hair, shaved his face, and even treated himself to a few new outfits. The transformation was immediate. He stood taller, he smiled brighter, and the world responded to him differently. People noticed his renewed energy, and he was once again the man they respected and admired. Grooming isn't just about looking good, it's about the energy and confidence we exude. Research shows that when we feel well-groomed and put together, we tend to act with more vitality. We engage more deeply with the world around us, we feel more present, and we radiate confidence. But when we neglect these small things, letting our hair grow out of control, leaving our skin dry and neglected, or letting our nails become ragged, It can make us appear older, withdrawn, and even less approachable than we truly are. A simple moisturizer, a dab of lip balm, or a neat haircut can work wonders in rejuvenating both our appearance and our spirits. It doesn't require hours of preparation, nor does it demand that we become obsessed with perfection. A little bit of care, a conscious effort, can have an enormous impact on how we feel and how the world sees us. When we make time to care for ourselves, we not only look healthier and more vibrant, but we also boost our self-esteem and elevate our energy. Self-care doesn't just improve our appearance. It nourishes our souls and reinforces the belief that we are worthy of love and respect, no matter our age. A little self-love goes a long way in reigniting that inner spark. 2. Speaking too loudly or interrupting conversations. As we age, one of the most painful and yet subtle changes can be in how we communicate. It's something that creeps up slowly, unnoticed at first, but becomes more obvious over time. Speaking too loudly or interrupting conversations without realizing it. It's often linked to gradual hearing loss, but unfortunately, it's one of those things that is rarely brought up. People notice it, but no one wants to say anything because they fear it might embarrass the person. It's heartbreaking to see someone, perhaps a loved one, becoming isolated or disconnected from others simply because they can't hear the quiet cues that indicate they're dominating the conversation. Take Jack, a 77-year-old man who had always been the life of the party. He loved engaging in conversations, laughing, and telling stories. But over the years, Jack's hearing began to deteriorate, and with it, so did his sense of conversation. He started speaking louder without realizing it, often interrupting others or talking over them, thinking he was being heard. His family noticed it. His friends noticed it. But no one said a word because they didn't want to hurt him. They didn't want to make him feel self-conscious about something so personal. Then one evening, during a family dinner, Jack noticed something that broke his heart. His loved ones were pulling away from him. When he spoke, people seemed to lean back, lower their voices, or even let their words trail off. It hit him hard, like a wake-up call. At that moment, Jack realized that his once lively conversations had turned into an unintentional one-man show. And that realization stung. It was an overwhelming feeling of isolation, of not being truly heard, of being distanced from those who mattered most. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. After getting his hearing checked, and with the help of his family, Jack made a conscious effort to adjust. He became mindful of his voice, lowering it to a more comfortable level. He made a promise to himself to pause and listen more, giving others the space to share their thoughts. The change was nothing short of miraculous. His conversations became smoother and more engaging, and his relationships deepened. People didn't feel like they had to shout over him or fight for attention. Jack was more present, more connected, and his voice was finally heard in the way he'd always intended. The truth is, that hearing loss is something we often don't realize is happening until it begins to affect those around us. We can become unaware of how our speech impacts others, how a louder voice or an interruption can make us seem more authoritative, more dominant, or even dismissive. Conversations are meant to be shared experiences, not a battle for control. So, what can you do? Start by paying attention to how others react when you speak. If you notice that people seem to shy away, that they're having trouble getting a word in, or that the room feels tense, it may be time to reassess how you communicate. If you suspect hearing loss, a simple hearing test could open up a world of change, restoring not only your hearing but also the balance in your interactions. But more than that, take the time to listen. Allow others to express themselves. Conversations flow best when we truly hear one another, when we give space to others' voices and contribute thoughtfully to the exchange. When you speak with awareness and respect for others' space, conversations transform. They become easier, more meaningful, and more enriching. And the best part? People will begin to engage with you more deeply, not less. After all, communication isn't just about being heard. It's about connection, understanding, and building bonds that last. 3. Wearing outdated or ill-fitting clothes. As we age, one of the most easily overlooked aspects of our self-care is our clothing. Many older adults fall into the habit of wearing the same clothes for years, even decades, and while the comfort factor is understandable, the reality is that these clothes often no longer serve us in the way they once did. The notion that fashion becomes less important with age is one that many adopt, but the truth is, what we wear speaks volumes about who we are, and it's easy for that message to be lost if we neglect our wardrobe. Take, for instance, someone like Mike. He's 80 years old, a man who, in his younger years, had a sharp sense of style that exuded confidence and self-respect. But as time went on, Mike began to neglect his appearance. The clothes that once fit him well started to lose their shape and no longer offered the same tailored look. His pants became baggy, his shirts faded, and those once vibrant colors turned dull. His family noticed. His friends noticed. But no one had the heart to bring it up. After all, he was an older man, and perhaps it didn't matter anymore. But one day, Mike had a moment of clarity. He decided to try something different. He put on a new, well-fitting shirt and a pair of trousers that flattered his frame. The transformation was extraordinary. It wasn't just about looking good, it was about feeling good. His posture straightened. His smile became brighter. People around him noticed too, offering compliments on how sharp he looked, and Mike could feel the change within himself. He didn't need a dramatic overhaul. Just a few carefully chosen pieces made all the difference. The truth is that our clothing has a profound impact on how we see ourselves and how others see us. Studies have shown that when we dress in neat, well-fitted clothes, we project a sense of vitality, confidence, and energy. It's not about wearing the latest trends or keeping up with fashion's ever-changing whims. But a tidy, intentional wardrobe can make us feel more engaged, more present, and ultimately, more respected. And let's face it, aging gracefully isn't about retreating into invisibility. It's about embracing life with confidence and letting the world know that you're still here, still vibrant, still ready to live fully. So, what can you do to start feeling more put together? The key is to start small and go at your own pace. You don't need a full wardrobe makeover, just a few thoughtful updates to revive your look. A crisp, tailored shirt, a pair of well-fitting trousers, or even a stylish jacket can work wonders. Pay attention to the colors that make you feel alive, those that complement your skin tone and brighten your appearance. And remember, comfort doesn't have to be sacrificed for style. Choose fabrics that feel good to wear but still have a sense of structure. Even the smallest changes, like investing in a good pair of shoes or adding a simple accessory, like a watch or belt, can have a dramatic impact. These subtle shifts will help you feel more confident and show others that you still care about your appearance and well-being. It's not about perfection. It's about honoring yourself, embracing the fact that you've lived a life full of experiences, and presenting that version of you to the world with pride and dignity. 4. Complaining or criticizing too much. One of the most subtle yet destructive habits we can fall into, often without realizing it, is the constant act of complaining or criticizing. It's so easy to slip into this pattern, especially as we face the overwhelming noise and pressure of modern life. We find ourselves complaining about the rapid pace of technology, the perceived laziness of younger generations, or how the good old days just seem like a distant memory. But here's the thing. Even if you don't think you're being overly negative, constantly pointing out the flaws in everything can slowly but surely push people away. Over time, these negative exchanges sap the life out of conversations, leaving people feeling emotionally drained and less inclined to engage. And the sad reality is, we may not even realize the impact it's having. Take Bob, for example. Bob is a 75-year-old man who has spent most of his life offering his thoughts and opinions freely, proudly wearing his experiences like a badge of honor. He began with small remarks, innocent enough at first, about how things used to be better in the past. He would mention how younger generations didn't seem to work as hard, or how everything nowadays felt rushed and chaotic. Bob didn't mean any harm, but after a while, something began to shift. His family still loved him deeply, but over time, his friends and loved ones started pulling away. They dreaded the long conversations because they knew they would be filled with a litany of complaints. One day, his young grandson Charlie, in a moment of genuine curiosity, asked him, "Grandpa, do you like anything these days?" That question hit Bob in a way he never anticipated. It was a question that cut straight to the heart and made him pause, reflecting on how much he had focused on the things he didn't like rather than the things that made his life worthwhile. It was a wake-up call that he desperately needed. The truth is that negativity is like a virus. It spreads easily and infects everything it touches. When we consistently focus on what's wrong with the world or the people around us, it doesn't just affect us, it spreads to others. The atmosphere in any conversation becomes heavy, suffocating, and downright exhausting. We may not even realize we're doing it, but the energy we bring into a room can determine the vibe of an entire interaction. People naturally gravitate toward positivity and optimism because it lifts them. It makes them feel lighter and more connected. No one wants to be around constant negativity, because, truth be told, it's just draining. That's not to say we should ignore the real struggles we face or pretend everything is perfect. But there's a massive difference between acknowledging the challenges and constantly dwelling on them. So, how do we change this pattern? The first step is mindfulness. Simply paying attention to how often we bring up complaints or criticisms in conversation. Catch yourself in the act, and take a moment to reconsider the energy you're bringing to the discussion. Instead of saying, "Things were better back in my time," try, "Things were different back then, but I'm genuinely curious about how this new way works." Instead of focusing solely on what's wrong, search for something interesting, funny, or uplifting about the situation. People want to be around those who make them feel inspired, and who bring warmth and light into the room. It's not about suppressing your feelings or pretending everything's fine when it's not, but about striking a balance. Sharing your concerns while also offering something positive, something that shows you're still engaged and open to the good around you. When you make this shift, you'll start to notice something incredible. People won't just enjoy being around you, they'll actively seek you out. Your presence will be a breath of fresh air, full of energy, warmth, and life, rather than a drain. It's so easy to get caught up in the endless complaints of the world, but I believe that, especially as we get older, we have an even greater responsibility to nurture our energy. If we want to create deeper, more meaningful connections, we have to ask ourselves, are we giving off energy that people can feed off of, or are we just sucking the life out of every room we enter? The choice is ours. The good news is that with a little awareness and effort, we can all choose to be the kind of person who lifts others, making every conversation feel lighter, brighter, and worth having. 5. Ignoring posture and body language. As we age, it's easy to forget how much our posture and body language influence the way others perceive us. Over time, without even realizing it, we may fall into the habit of slouching, dragging our feet, or adopting closed-off postures. These subtle shifts may seem harmless, but they speak volumes about how we feel, whether we want them to or not. The truth is, that body language tells a story long before we even say a word. A slumped posture, poor eye contact, or a tendency to hunch over can make us appear fragile or withdrawn, even when we don't feel that way inside. It's heartbreaking when we realize how much our body language can impact the way people treat us, especially when we've spent years working hard and living life to the fullest. Take someone like Linda, an 83-year-old woman who had always been full of life. She loved walking briskly through her neighborhood and staying active, but somewhere along the way, she began to notice a shift in how people treated her. Strangers started offering her assistance, even when she didn't need it. Her family, too, began treating her like she was fragile, despite her still being very capable. It wasn't until Linda took a hard look at herself in the mirror one morning, realizing that her posture had deteriorated, that she understood the change. She was subconsciously sending out signals of weakness, even though she wasn't physically weak at all. Once she made a conscious effort to stand up straighter, walk with intention, and maintain strong eye contact, the way people saw her began to shift dramatically. Instead of being treated like someone in need of constant help, Linda was once again seen as the strong, independent woman she truly was. Posture isn't just about physical health. It directly affects how we feel and how others perceive us. Research has shown time and time again that people with good posture are often perceived as more confident, capable, and yes, even younger. It's amazing how a slight change in how we carry ourselves can completely alter the way the world responds to us. But here's the beautiful part. Improving your posture doesn't require a complete overhaul of your habits. It can start with something as simple as being aware of how you sit, stand, and walk. I found that imagining a string pulling you upward from the top of your head is a simple and effective trick that helps keep the spine aligned naturally. When walking, avoid dragging your feet. Simply lifting your feet with purpose can make you appear more energetic and present. Posture speaks louder than words. It's a language that says more about us than we often realize. A slight change in our body language can make us appear more capable, more approachable, and more engaged. And when we start to feel more confident about how we present ourselves, it's like a light switch has been flipped. We start to feel more energetic and alive too. Don't let your body language work against you. Instead, use it to project the strength, confidence, and vitality you still have within you. 6. Bad breath or body odor. There are few things as uncomfortable to think about or talk about as body odor or bad breath. And yet, these are some of the first things people notice, even when they're too polite to mention them. As we grow older, our sense of smell tends to dull, and we may not realize that our body's scent is changing. It's not just about hygiene or diet. Certain medications and dehydration can also contribute to this issue. But the real problem is that many people won't tell you directly. Instead, they might distance themselves or find ways to end conversations quickly, which, as you can imagine, can deeply affect our confidence and sense of connection with others. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Take Frank, a 78-year-old man who had always been the life of the party. He was the one who brought joy and laughter to any room, a beacon of energy that everyone loved to be around. But slowly, he started to notice a shift. People didn't seem as eager to spend time with him. They kept their distance, and conversations felt colder. Frank couldn't figure out what had changed until one day, it hit him. His mouth was dry, and that dryness was causing his breath to change. As simple as it sounds, it was a small thing that made a huge difference. After focusing on staying hydrated, using mouthwash, and chewing sugar-free gum, Frank noticed a significant change. The warmth came back to his conversations, and people leaned in again. Frank felt a renewed sense of self-worth and joy in reconnecting with the world around him. Dry mouth is one of the leading causes of bad breath, and it's something that becomes more common as we age. When our mouth doesn't produce enough saliva, bacteria build up faster, leading to persistent odors. Similarly, body odor can change due to shifts in digestion, diet, or metabolism. Even wearing the same clothes more than once without washing them can lead to a buildup of body odor. The crazy part is that these small, often unnoticed factors can have a huge impact on how we feel about ourselves and how others see us. So, what can you do to prevent this? Start with hydration. Drink plenty of water throughout the day to help prevent dry mouth. Chewing sugar-free gum or sucking on mints can stimulate saliva production and keep your breath fresh. When it comes to body odor, focus on wearing breathable fabrics and showering regularly. Be mindful of your clothes, and wash them often. These small adjustments can make a world of difference, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. Final thoughts. Now that we've touched on some of these often overlooked habits, it's time to reflect. How we present ourselves to the world, the way we communicate, the way we maintain our personal care routines, and even the way we carry ourselves, shapes how others perceive us, whether we realize it or not. But here's the truly empowering part. These habits can all be changed with just a few mindful adjustments. You don't have to overhaul your entire lifestyle. Small, thoughtful changes to your posture, hygiene, and even how you express yourself can have a profound impact on how you feel about yourself and how others respond to you. It's never too late to start taking better care of yourself. Our worth is not defined by how we look, but by how we carry ourselves and the energy we project into the world. You are capable of taking control of your own story, no matter your age. A few simple changes can help you feel more confident, connected, and energized, living each day with renewed purpose and a sense of pride in who you are. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want you to take a moment and think about everything we've covered so far. What have you learned about how small adjustments in your posture, body language, and personal care can make a world of difference in how you feel and how others perceive you? Is there one thing you're going to implement today to enhance your confidence and well-being? I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you've learned that you're excited to bring into your life. And if you found value in today's video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.